Welcome back to Geek'd Up. Joe DeLeone and Sean Anderson. We've got more MLB best bets for today. We've also got picks for the top games in college football for week one. We already did week 0. If you missed those picks, those are still available on the channel. We can get lots of people hopping in and watching that preview video that we did. So there's plenty more that we're going to get to on today's show for when week one kicks off next weekend. Before we get into today's show, I want to remind everybody to go on over to thesportsgeek.com and sign up for our Beat the Geek contest, where you can win weekly prizes and you can win an NFL trip for 2 if you win the grand prize. It's free to sign up. If you think you're good at picking games, you're better than the Geekbot who calls in at the end of every single week, then make sure you go check out our Beat the Geek contest at thesportsgeek.com. Sean, how you doing?
I don't know if you get this when you go back to your parents' house, live from Virginia at my parents' house. Yep. You wake up with like bumps. Like I got something on my forehead. Like it's just, everything changes for some. Like I don't know if it's like a weird stressor thing or a body reacting thing. But like I don't get pimples or I don't break out, but I feel something forming on my forehead. I got I don't know what the hell is going on sometimes when I get back here. It just is not home base, and my body seems to default back to like 14 years old.
Maybe it's your body, a reaction by your body to tell you that you don't belong. Maybe that's what it is. Or it could also just be your parents haven't cleaned down there on a bed that you're sleeping in that's been there for...
Maybe it's actually... It could be too clean because I have to assume that they're cleaning sheets more often than I do.
Yeah, but who's sleeping down there, though, where you're sleeping?
I don't know. Maybe it's just a little spider bite. Maybe a spider got me in the middle of the night. Yeah,
the bugs have been waiting for your big ass to return so that they have something to feast on.
Well, after the years-long war that I've had with the bugs in the basement, it wouldn't surprise me if they had been waiting for this time to counterattack.
Well, we're wishing for your survival. We're wishing that you make it through being at your parents' house this week. We've got more MLB picks, as I said earlier. I convinced myself I went 2-0 yesterday because if you recall, did a yes run first inning bet, and when I went to go double check my outcomes of my bets, I was like, oh, there was no run in the Phillies Mariners game. Look at that, your boy went 2-0, and then
nice.
As I was doing my notes, I realized, wait a minute, I didn't do a no run first inning bet. Never again. Never again doing a yes run first inning bet. Never. Bull. Absolute bull. Here's my first pick, though. I went 1-1 yesterday. Peter Lambert over 5.5 strikeouts versus the Yankees. 60% in his last 5, 53% in his last 15, and 50% on the season, going over 5.5 strikeouts. The Yankees, notorious, as they've been forever when it comes to striking out, are 28th in the MLB in terms of strikeouts per game.
There you go, picking Peter Lambert again. The banker name.
I don't know if he hit
playing
it. I don't know
professional
if he hit it last
baseball.
Time.
I don't think he did.
I'm a fool.
I stay away for sure. My first baseball pick, Joseph. We got a playoff series happening right now in the NL. Under 8.5 in Braves Dodgers. You get that at minus 101. It is a very testy series right now. I think it was game 1 of this, obviously not real playoff series, but 2 teams that are going to be deep in the hunt for the NL, playing a very tight, very tense game of baseball. Like, you're seeing all these other teams, these garbage teams that are playing each other, that are just putting up a ton of runs. Like the White Sox game, they're putting up a ton of runs. The Rangers are putting up a ton of runs. The actual playoff contenders are starting to try to dial in their pitching and their bullpen, and they're trying to get, they're not saying you put up 7, we'll put up 8. They're saying we're going to limit you to 2, and we just need to get to 3. So I like the under in this Braves-Dodgers game.
All right, no qualms there. I watched this game last night. It was pretty intense. Shohei, I thought was gonna, with that triple that he hit, I was fully prepared for them to end up winning it with the way that he was able to rip that one off. But that he can't win everything for the Dodgers. Apparently,
He's trying to.
He's trying. He's absolutely trying. Last pick, we're going to go with a no, not yes, no. No run. First inning for Dolly. Red Sox versus Marlins. Red Sox are 5-5 in their last 10 on no run first innings, but Sonny Gray is on the mound, and he's been phenomenal. 71% on the season on no run first innings. He's also on an 11-game streak. Marlins are 7-3 in their last 10, and Gusto, who is on the mound, 75%, although he has less outings on no run first innings. So hopefully that one goes through the hoop.
Yeah, I hope the Marlins put up like 8 runs in the first inning and smoke the Red Sox in this game.
Thanks, man.
I can't stand the Red Sox. The way that they handled themselves and the way that Boston media handled the Red Sox when they were in a terrible slump at the beginning of the year, like you can't do this. You can't do boy who cried wolf every single time a Boston sports team starts doing bad and then turn it around and look like one of the more legitimized ball clubs in the MLB. I hate this team. I hate their story this year. It's a ridiculous squad. Go Marlins.
Damn.
Dude, it was gross. I mean, every day that the Red Sox played, it was like a meltdown. And now they're like, oh, they're actually pretty good. Oh, yeah, no, you don't get to do that, Boston. You're too big of a market to start to be playing baby ball like that. Hate that stuff from them. It's like almost worse than Philly fans, but regardless, my second pick. Guardians giving 1.5 runs to the Los Angeles Angels. Run it back, bet. Run it back. They squeaked by it yesterday. I'll take it. I did not love the lines today. I did a deep scan. I did not love the matchups. I didn't love some of the pitcher props. Like there was the Phillies pitcher. His K's line was way too high. So I had to just go back to my meat and potatoes, and that is finding a pitcher like Grayson Rodriguez to pick against. He has a 4-5 record on the year and a 6.41 ERA for the Angels. Yeah, I think the Guardians, a playoff team, can put up 6 runs against the Angels and keep the Angels, the worst team in baseball, from not scoring 4. Please and thank you.
Well, we're hoping you get a win for Dolly. That's all that all that matters.
Go Dolly.
Very niche joke that only the two of us get, unless anyone else is as online as we are.
I tell you, yeah, that whole fallout's been shocking. By the way, I didn't know how many girls like our age even knew who Dolly Parton was. Like New York, north of Virginia, it's the fallout from that has been baffling.
I couldn't name a single one of her songs.
That's
a shame.
Honest with
you. But rest in peace.
Yeah.
She looked good when she did the what game was that she did? Mm-hmm. She did a live performance. Where was that? There's a live performance at a Tennessee game. There was like a big NFL game or something that she did.
Cowboys.
Okay. I don't remember. I'm a bad fan.
It's
not
fine.
of Dolly, but of football. All right. College football week 1 is right around the corner. We've got 2 really big games in week 1. The rest of the slate's not good. I actually was debating doing multiple week 1 previews. We might come back to this and do multiple week 1 previews. The bettable games aren't sexy, but there's 2 big matchups that I think if you're a college football fan or you're looking to get into college football that you should consider putting a pick in for. And that's the premise that we're going to do every single week here during the football season. We're going to do this early in the week on for the NFL and for college football. We want to give you as much info as possible so you know when you're going to the bar with your buddies or you're just going to hang out with your friends at one of their apartments or houses, whatever it is, that you can make a pick and then you can have a bet to root for. You can convince all your buddies to be in on whatever it is. You can come in here and yell at me or Sean, and whichever of us convinced you to take either side. So let's start with Clemson at LSU, minus 9.5 in favor of the Tigers. Sean, Clemson, this team is a bit gutted. They lost a lot of key contributing pieces. They had multiple big-name players drafted in the top 100 of the 2026 NFL draft. They underperformed despite having an elite roster last year, and now we're expecting them to succeed with an inexperienced team. They're 58th total snaps, 59th on offense, 53rd on defense. LSU, on the other hand, tried to build up their roster by throwing money at every single problem to the point where they're now bringing back former NFL players onto their team, which we'll find out if Daquan Wright actually makes it onto the field, whether he's prepared to or if, quite simply, the SEC allows it. But this team, deceptively, despite their transfer portal moves, 15th in total snaps, 16th on offense, 27th on defense. They have a lot of experience. My pick that I like for this, Sean, actually, I'll let you give yours first.
Oh, sure.
What do you like here, LSU or Clemson to cover?
LSU, the big line bandit is back. I am not scared of that 9.5 number. I love it, actually, because I think that's actually too small for LSU, making all the noise they made going against Clemson, who, Joe, stunk it up last year. Who, Joe, disappointed everybody every time that Clemson had a favorable line. They were a letdown team. LSU added immediate impact guys that will tear up Clemson. Sam Leavitt, whatever. Jordan Seaton, Levitt alone.
Awful. Are you done with your analysis? Or was that what you were waiting for?
I just wanted to get it. Yeah, I just wanted to tee that one up. Jordan Seaton helping out that offensive line, which was kind of brutal last year. It was way too brutal for LSU, how good they had been on offensive line. Trey'Dez Green, I know you're a big Trey'Dez Green guy. I'm not even going to let you lie about that. He's a stud. And most importantly for me, Jace Brown being in a Lane Kiffin offense is exciting to me. He is a awesome wide receiver, used very creatively at Kansas State. I wonder if Lane Kiffin can get creative with a guy that was taking direct snaps, going 40 yards after the line of scrimmage with it. I love this LSU team. I really think that they're going to punish Clemson in this first game and say, hey, we didn't make all of this noise this offseason for nothing.
So I think that aspect of things is true, that I don't think that they're coming into this year with a whimper. I do think that they're going to come out swinging to start the season. I think that they're going to win this game. It's in Death Valley. It's at LSU. This team has been, their fan base rather, has been at everybody's neck the entire offseason, and they're looking for a way to prove them. Oh, I didn't even realize I made that joke. LSU fans. Look at me knowing things about this team. The point is, though, is that this LSU team has a lot of excitement for starting the season off hot, especially with that week 3 matchup against Ole Miss right around the corner. But I'm able to find this line, and I gave this out in my picks video, my best bets video that I did on the main Sports Geek channel. Go check that out if you haven't. You could get this line at plus 10.5. I found it today at plus 11. If you could grab this line, and it seems like this has been moving too, so there's a chance that this line, by the time it kicks off, enough people are in the camp of Sean Anderson that it's worth grabbing. If this is over 9.5 points, I'm taking it. I am taking it because I think that as much as LSU wants to start hot, there is a lot new. You have an experienced roster of transfer portal players, but most of these guys have not played together. I also feel like Dabo's the type of coach that, at the very least, is going to put out a competitive performance and keep this thing relatively tight, maybe even backdoor cover it. If there is that much of a window, I find it really hard to believe that Clemson is just going to get completely blown out of the water, dominated, and embarrassed in a game like this. They played like ass last year against LSU, and albeit big reason why the game was still close was because Garrett Nussmeier and the LSU offense could not move the ball, and they could not finish. I feel as though Clemson is the type of program that, while they might put together a pretty weak record this year, and while I agree with you that they're not going to be as successful as they've been in the past, last year's performance was disappointing. They're a team that I can trust to cover. They're a team that is always going to fight and to keep the game relatively close. They've done it in the past. They've done it before where there have been games where they've played really poorly. And like, I think of the Syracuse game where they ended up losing that game, but like they were expected to be favored in that game. But my point is that they still fought to keep it as tight as they could to try and get back into it no matter what was happening. So I think that Dabo, even though, again, there's a lot new, Christopher Vezina is starting at quarterback. I like what they have on defense. They actually have some nice pieces with Will Helt, Sammy Brown, and Ashton Hampton. And I also think that they've got some big play receivers with TJ Moore and Bryant Wesco that could allow for them to spark up a drive whenever they need to in order to cover this 10.5-point spread.
I think you make a lot of good points there. This line could be 13.5, and I'd still take LSU. That's just where I'm sitting on this one.
You're just grifting for Blake Ruffino. You just want Blake to like you.
Oh, that's so funny. Oh, I want Blake to like me.
That's what it is.
You think that's where I'm at? Where I'm trying to get it? Yeah,
don't let Blake influence you. Blake's influencing you, man. I get it. It's okay,
buddy. I've had 1,000 reasons to despise LSU, and I've taken them up on many of those offers. But if we're talking about Week 1 college football bets, money on the table, LSU blows the doors off of Clemson.
Where's one of your family members going to veterinary school? Where's that?
LSU.
Oh, he's biased. Boo this.
You want to start this precedent?
Boo.
We'll start the precedent.
What bias do I have?
We'll start this.
What bias do I have?
Virginia Tech, Notre Dame. Let's talk about every school out in California that you somehow have a family member at.
I usually pick against.
I can't believe you would bring that up.
I've never spoke highly of I usually crap all over USC and UCLA. So I don't.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear.
They wouldn't take
I
you.
don't want to hear. All right. Louisville, they would take me. Louisville versus Ole Miss. They'd be lucky to have me. Louisville versus I'm gonna do what Bill Simmons does now, where he's an East Coast guy and then suddenly he's a big advocate and supporter for UCLA. That'll be me.
Sure.
I couldn't have gotten in and out of for undergrad. Louisville versus Ole Miss. Ole Miss is favored by 6.5 points. Louisville and Ole Miss are both portal heavy teams. Jeff Brom's done this a lot. 13th in total snaps, 22nd on offense, 14th on defense. Isaac Brown and K'Wan Brown, I might be mispronouncing that, have create one of the most dynamic running back tandems in the country that nobody talks about. Clev Lubin is an absolute monster, but they're starting Lincoln Kienholz, who, if you remember that name, he was the backup quarterback at Ohio State for a very long time. Intrigued to find out if that is going to work or not for Jeff Brom. Ole Miss is 5th in total snaps, 12th on offense, 6th on defense. So even though they got gutted on the defensive side of the ball, they went and brought in a lot of guys who've played a ton of football. Their front seven is pretty loaded. Luke Farrelly caused a pretty big stir when they went and pulled him because of the manner in which they pulled him. He's still really freaking good. They also have Will Eccles, who's one of my favorite defensive tackles in this class, and Cam Franklin. Their offensive line has some solid experience, but they've got two of the most talented players in the country in Trinidad Chambliss and Kawan Lacey. So with that being said, with the table set, Mr. Jonathan Anderson, what is the pick that you're going with?
Ole Miss 6.5. It's as simple as this. Week 1, what am I looking at when it comes to Louisville? And it's a pretty good team. You laid out the foundation of what they have. I think Brom has actually been one of the more stable and successful coaches that the ACC has seen, and he's becoming almost a legacy in my mind the longer that he stays at Louisville, keeps on winning games. More importantly, Louisville does not have a team capable of, 1, stopping Kawan Lacey and Trinidad Chambliss, or 2, keeping up with them. Yeah, neither aspect can they do. Trinidad Chambliss was a beloved player by Mr. Sean Anderson last year with his tenacity, his overcoming of size limitations, and general baller attitude on the football field. He has a running back the caliber of Lacey to work with. Yeah, they roll down Louisville. Louisville makes it somewhat respectable, but when it starts getting into the second half, fourth quarter, and Ole Miss says, all right, it's time to put this baby to sleep, they're going to put it to sleep.
As much as I was considering taking Louisville, because I do think that Louisville is an underrated team in the ACC this year, they're my pick to end up coming in second in the ACC and getting to the ACC championship game. Maybe they knock on the door of the college football playoff with one loss during the regular season. But that being said, all I can think about is theoretically this game is close in the third quarter. It's probably not going to happen, but theoretically.
Yeah.
And then we just start watching Trinidad Chambliss do that thing, which you're like, well, what thing? Well, you didn't watch Trinidad Chambliss if you don't know what I'm talking about. He starts roaming around, and then he rips the ball cross body, like 60 yards downfield. You're like, oh, okay. I didn't know that one was possible. I didn't know that we could just do that in a game. I didn't know that we could get everybody's attention to one side of the field and then throw the ball to the complete opposite side of the field because he's so freaking elusive. I mean, a little bit hyperbolic there, but the point is that he is a big play threat. And Kawan Lacey, when he gets a little bit of room, is also a big play threat. I think that with all these new faces that you have on defense for Louisville, albeit Jeff Brom has done this bit before where he's gone portal heavy, I think that Ole Miss offensive line is going to be able to pave enough lanes, which they did last year, for Lacey to just pick up a bunch of huge, big rushes. There's going to be one long Kawan Lacey touchdown, and that is going to be the silent killer of the game. That is going to be the, okay, all right, now Louisville's on their heels. Yep. I can get this at a touchdown, less just for them to win by 7 points. I'm taking this. You kidding me? If this moves, I might have a hair of pause and like reconsider it because we would need the ball to bounce our way a couple ways not to bounce our way, but like when we start doing the math of how the game transpires for like, well, then we're going to probably need a 10-point victory or whatnot, even though it doesn't always kind of come down to that. For this to be only 6.5, I think that this is a pretty juicy line.
I think so too. Ole Miss is amped. Obviously, with the Lane Kiffin situation, anybody that's still at Ole Miss from last year is amped up to prove that they are good enough. And more importantly, Joe, they're paranoid. They're paranoid, and that means that they are just trying to work to win ball games. Oh, I wouldn't put it. Who was that Grove booster talking about? Lane might have bugged the desk. Is that the?
No. I have decided to ignore that story. One of the dumbest like. And Blake, I didn't know this, but Blake, somebody clipped Blake responding to this where it was like he was doing a voice. Did you see the clip I'm talking about? Yeah. Blake decided to do the whole like, my dad knew someone in the FBI to come and sweep the building. It's so performative and unnecessary. Yeah, man, I'm sure that Lane Kiffin was smart enough to bug it. Do you know how ridiculously paranoid you need to be to go around bugging the entire...
I know what he's capable of. Yeah, okay.
What the hell? Relax.
Louisville, you can't keep up with that kind of crazy. You just can't. Sorry. Ole Miss is going to take that thing.
All right, everybody. That is going to be it from us on today's show. Hit the like button and subscribe. We'll talk to you later.